Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot on the Pagan Perspective. I look like a hot damn mess. Sorry. I'm still in the middle of packing up my house and whatnot so I can make the move up to New Jersey. And yeah, that's probably why you hear an echo if you hear it in this video. Anyway, this week's topic comes from KS. This was taken from the Pagan Perspective Facebook group, I do believe. Yeah, I think that's where Kara got this. So they write, how much of the fear and distrust from the non-pagans stems from perceived notions, and how much is caused by our own community? They go on to say that they were a part of a heated debate in another Facebook group. A user asked for a love spell to cast on a man that she was in love with so he could reciprocate the feelings. When a few of us told her that it was wrong to interfere with another person's free will, we were attacked by many of the members, including the admins, who told us that it was none of our business and to butt out. They go on to say, some of the spells offered in response were quite disturbing, including feeding him food with her blood in it, which is a type of spellcraft, but I don't suggest it. Let's see. This made me think a lot, both about ethical issues and possible repercussions. We're not being persecuted in the Western world at the moment, and I'm going to stop there. I know where they're coming from in saying this, but there are certain people that are still persecuted either by positions at their job, marital disputes or divorces, and custody battles and whatnot. So it does play a role, sorry about the shakiness, in the Western world. It just doesn't have a death sentence attached to it like it does in some other countries. So I understand where they're coming from. I just wanted to clear that up. But they go on to say, but if someone who already has a distrust of pagans and witches discovers someone doing this and word gets around, who is to say that our practices won't be outlawed and we won't be targeted again? There are several directions you guys could choose to go in if you use this. What is morally acceptable? What is legally acceptable? How much of the fear and distrust we receive is caused by us and those among us, etc. And then they go on to say some other things in there. And of course, all of it's going to be down in the bottom bar, so go ahead and check that out. So anyway, the first thing that I want to say is that the pagan community is no different in this respect than the Christian community or the Islamic community or the Jewish community. Every religious or faith-based community has those extremist groups. They will say, this is what our beliefs are, and if you're not following those beliefs, you're wrong. There are those people in every faith-based system. So paganism is no different than that. And the ones that people outside of the community focus on whenever they're saying something negative about us is going to be taken from those groups. Same thing with the people that are Christian, and the people that give Christianity a bad name are people like in the Westboro Baptist Church. The Christians, quote unquote Christians, give Christianity a bad name. The group ISIS or ISIL gives Islam a bad name. In both respects, they are beautiful religions. So a few select groups give the entire religion a bad name because you're only going to focus on the ones that are the loudest, which are usually the ones that are the craziest. It's the same as the Bind Trump movement that is out there. It gives paganism a bad name whenever Christians see this blatantly out there. I've spoken in the past, and I'm not going to get into it, but There's parts of it I really don't like. Not that I like him, it's that I don't like the way that they're going about it. I think there's better ways to go about it. But anyway, not going to get into that. As far as what is morally acceptable, that depends on the practice, the magical practice that you're doing. If you're involved in something such as conjure work, that, as I understand it, is more of, if you've been wronged, then this is the way that you make it right. And I've been studying a little bit more and more of conjure work and whatnot. I find it very interesting. So that type of system is more of righting a wrong than it is about conforming somebody else's will to yours, just because you want to have somebody, to be in a relationship with you. So what is morally acceptable depends on the magical tradition or the magical practice that you subscribe to. It's going to be different for everybody. For me, what is morally acceptable is if I'm not directly saying, oh, so-and-so, I need you to love me, and you will do so. That, to me, is blatantly taking out free will of that individual. For me, that's not okay. For other people, they see no problem with it. I see a problem with it for me. And if you have the karma or dharma aspects in your practice, you probably see it too. As far as what's legally acceptable, I'm not a lawyer in any way, shape, or form. I guess I got a law degree from Law & Order SVU, but that's about as far as it goes. So I can't say legally what is or is not acceptable, but I really do have a problem with the putting blood in food without somebody knowing it. Putting anything in somebody's food for them to ingest, or putting anything around them that conforms their will in any way, shape, or form, it's not okay with me. That is also different from me putting a type of spell on a house, saying that all who enter will, be in harmony or something like that. That's different because that's my own area. If they don't like it, they can leave. That type of thing is set apart from blatantly going against somebody's free will. So that's kind of where I draw the line from, or, in the sand on that one. And let's see. A lot of the fear and distrust, they ask how much of it is received that is caused by us, by individuals in the group. I think a lot of the fear is not only rooted in previously held beliefs, but I think a lot of it is actually because of those individuals that give us a bad name. The administrators of this Facebook group probably shouldn't have, said, just shut up and color or something like that, or told you to mind your own business or whatever it was. They probably should not have said that. They should have probably tried to keep the peace. It would have probably behooved them a lot more. I do disagree with that type of action going on. With a Facebook group, it should be a place to share ideas and collaborate with other people, other individuals, to bat around an idea system, to get other people's thought process on it. As far as sharing spells, I don't often share spells. Very rarely do I ever share spells. So if I'm ever on a Facebook group, matter of fact, I'm on a Paganism group that I'm kind of not very active in, but I'm a part of that group, and I don't share spells. I don't really share spells even on my personal channel. So yeah, I probably wouldn't ask anybody for a spell in that aspect. If I wanted one, then either I come up with it on my own, or I find it either on the interwebs, or in a book, and I adapt it for my own use. Most spells that I don't do plainly, this is the way it has to be type thing. So the person asking it probably should not have said that or asked the question in my thought process. Other people should have been like, hey, here's how you can do it. But before you do it, go through the process of thinking what the repercussions might be. They should have actually taken a whole different stance of what would happen if this actually occurs, if this comes to fruition. Boy, I can't speak today. So they should have probably taken that aspect, which is actually the aspect that I would take, is what would happen if you got what you wanted from this spell. And would that actually be a good relationship? Not only that, I wonder how long this person has been practicing, because most people that ask for a love spell or something like that, it's more so to open themselves up to love or something like that. If you've been practicing for, I don't want to say for a while or a long time, but more so you see that in people that have been practicing, a little longer than, reading their first 2 books or whatever. So most likely this person that even asked the question probably has not been practicing for very long, because one of the things that most people learn first off is, think of the consequences, or, have this system set up where this is the follow through, or this is the thought process of this spell that you're about to perform. At least in a lot of the books that I've read, that's what is taught in the first 2 chapters, usually. So within the first couple of chapters, you usually see something of, here's some ethics. Come up with your own, of course, but here's some that other people have used. So I wonder how much of an ethical thought process actually went into even asking the question, and how much of an ethical thought process the people that were giving that information actually answering that topic. So yeah, I wonder how much ethical background thought process was actually going into it. So I'm not against love spells altogether. I'm against ones that prey on other people's free will that are specific to another person. So yeah, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. So anyway, sorry about the shakiness of the camera. I couldn't find my little tripod for my phone, so sorry about that. And hopefully the lighting wasn't too bad. And the lateness of the video, yes. Like I said, I am currently packing up this house to move back up to New Jersey. I should be up there probably after the first video of next month. So yeah, probably the second video that the regular hosts do next month in April. So yes, I will be back in my house up in Jersey, or New Jersey. Yes, there is an old Jersey. Anyway, so yeah, I will see you guys next month. It's actually going to be the day after Easter. So yes, happy Easter to those who are out there that celebrate Easter. Happy Ostara to those who are celebrating Ostara. What is it, tomorrow or later this week? I know it is. So I have to look at my calendar. Ever since I went off active duty, yeah, I've kind of lost track of days. So it's kind of weird. How do you guys do it out there that are self-employed? So anyway, more updates coming on my personal channel once I get my my rental house all packed up and get the trailer shipped out. So I will be pumping out some videos for my personal channel once that is all complete. Anyway, until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.